All right, so here's why Adam Page had a very lackluster world title reign. It's all MJF's fault. Because ever since Adam Page beat Omega for that title, it's been all about MJF. It's been about nobody else. It's been about Jericho and MJF. Whatever they were doing, it took a higher priority than anything Hangman Page was doing. And I feel like it's an insult, and it's an insult to our intelligence that Tony Khan said Adam Page is the best AEW World Heavyweight Champion of all time. That's like total false. Bro, the best champion they ever had was Chris Jericho, because he was the one that brought eyes onto the goddamn product. But the reason his reign was so terrible, so lackluster, and it kind of ruined his rep is because he was booked like Big E. He wasn't booked like a top guy. He was booked like a mid-card guy holding the championship. Like, no world champion should open up your show. I'm sorry. Why was Hangman Page always opening up the show in singles matches? See, I can understand if it was tag team match, but it was singles match. He was opening up the show. Like, your world champion should not be having matches during the first hour of your show. He should be always in the main event at all times. Before he faced CM Junk, I remember he had a match. He had like a warm-up match with this guy from New Japan, and I think that was during the first hour of Dynamite. I'm like, bruh, how come this is not in the main event? Why is Wardlow and MJF more important than your world champion and CM Punk? That makes no sense. So Tony Khan has to take full responsibility for Hangman Page being a lackluster world champion. It's like he was having matches with Dante Martin during the first hour of the show. Look, I don't care how you feel about Dante Martin. That match has to be in the main event. How the hell am I supposed to take your world champion seriously when he's not main eventing his own show? I can't see Roman Reigns not main eventing SmackDown. Can you? I can't. I remember when Big E was champion, this dude had a mid-card match with Chad Gable. You don't believe me? Look it up on YouTube. He had a mid-card one-on-one match with Chad Gable in the mid-card. I think last December or something. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like he was not booked like Kenny Omega. That's the problem. Kenny was booked like a big deal. He was booked like a poor man's Roman Reigns in terms of when he gets beat, it will be called this guy dethroned Omega. But I feel like Hangman Page was the wrong guy to do it. He wasn't even ready for it. He was not ready to be a world champion. It's like he wasn't over enough. It's like his character was not set yet. His character was still in development. Now, let's get back to MJF. Dude, he buried Adam Page. It shouldn't get to a point where MJF has more TV time than your world champion. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how good MJF is. Him and Wardlow should not feel more important than Hangman Page. That is Tony Khan's fault. Why is this storyline way more important than anything Hangman Page is doing? Did you care about his feud with what's his face? Lance Archer? No. Do you remember that feud with Lance Archer? I don't. There's a lot of matches he done had so far that nobody remembers, nobody cares about. I remember he had a feud with Adam Coleslaw. Did we care? No. Did we care who won? No. Look, when it comes to being a world champion, you need drama in order for us to care. Nobody cares about blood. The only thing remember about Hangman Page's reign is he was always bleeding. He had a small little tiny feud with Daniel Bryan, but it was more so built on who's better than who. Who is the better in? That's how that feud was based on. Who is the better in-ring performer? Come on, man. Are you serious? Nobody cares about that. When you are world champion, you have to have the most important storylines on the show. I feel like people lose sight of that with Roman Reigns. People think, oh, everything is built around Roman Reigns. Yeah, it should be. He's the world champion, you idiot. Everything has to take a back seat to the world champion. His storylines come first. Everybody else's storylines come second. I don't care. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how good Ricochet is, Sheamus, etc. Big E. I don't care. Everything has to be built around Roman Reigns. His storylines has to be the most important. Common sense, he's the world champion. It's always been like that. People think, oh, everything is built around Roman Reigns. That's not fair. Bro, he's the world champion. The mid-card champion should not feel more important than Roman Reigns. A mid-card wrestler should not feel more important than your world champion. I don't care if it's Reigns, Big E, I don't care who it is. Drew McIntyre, I don't care who it is. Your world champion comes first at all times. He's the face of the show. He's your flagship. Hangman Page never felt like a flagship whatsoever. And that is the problem. He felt like a mid-card wrestler. I mean, that title did not feel no prestige whatsoever. When it was with Omega, it felt prestigious. Now it does not feel prestigious at all. It feels like a regular title. That's Hangman Page's fault and it's Tony Khan's fault. When you are a world champion, it's not about the matches, man. It's not about having damn near Iron Man matches with Daniel Bryan. It's not about that, man. When you are world champion, you have to be in soap opera feuds. You have to be in John Cena versus Randy Orton kind of feuds. You got to be in Sheamus versus John Cena like feuds. You got to be in Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns kind of feuds where it goes backstage. You got to have Randy Orton versus Triple H kind of feuds where it goes away from the damn ring, where Triple H was damn near trying to break into his house. We need those kind of feuds when you are a world champ. You got to have drama. You need Seth Rollins and Edge. Those kind of feuds. When you need blood feuds. Nobody cares about 5-star matches, dude. Nobody cares, man. That's why Hangman failed. He is the prime example of, bro, it don't matter how good you are in the damn ring. You need promos and you need storylines. Nobody cares once that bell rings. How did we get here before the bell rung? Why should we care once that bell rang? Why? There's nothing to care about. It shouldn't get to a point where I'm watching a damn pay-per-view and I'm looking forward to seeing Wardlow versus MJF with no titles on the line. I'm looking forward to seeing that more so than Punk and Hangman Page. That's not a good thing. And it's like, bruh, if you notice, CM Junk and Hangman Page, they had no feud. What were they fighting over? Why were they fighting? Oh, I want to be the world champion. Okay, cool. I'm going to fight you for it. Okay. Is there drama? Is there a story here? Why should I care? See, that's why CM Punk's run has failed. Outside of MJF, what has CM Punk done that has entertained you? What? I don't know. Because last time I checked, it feels like CM Punk has been getting carried Let's talk about his match, his little small little feud with Eddie Kingston. In my opinion, I feel like Eddie Kingston carried that feud. You see what I'm saying? CM Punk is boring. CM Punk needs a talker in order for us to care about him. If he doesn't have a talker like Eddie Kingston or MJF to feed off of, we're not gonna care about him. How come you don't notice that though? Freaking Adam Page is not a great talker. Did we care about his feud with CM Punk? In fact, that wasn't even a feud. It was like, okay, CM Punk is a number contender. Okay, now he has to fight Page now. That was not a feud, but leading up to Double or Nothing, what were the fights? See what I'm saying? That's why he's failed. Who has he put over? Not MJF. Not that I know of. I mean, who has he put over? Who has he made feel more important? Because even MJF said he made CM Punk relevant. I feel like he did. I feel like that's a fact because he hasn't done a damn thing since MJF feud. What has he done that made you emotionally invested? He's been pretty damn boring, right? MJF had a blood feud with Wardlow, right? What has CM Junk done since the Wardlow and MJF feud? Nothing. That just proves MJF's point that he's really that good. He carried CM Punk. He made CM Punk look good and he made Wardlow look good. Who has CM Punk made look good or made feel better? Nobody. He sure as hell done nothing for Adam Page. Nothing. Adam Page was a failure as a world champion. I feel like, dude, it was MJF's fault. MJF, his storyline just felt more important. That just goes to show you when you are world champion, you need storylines to make us invested into your matches. Nobody cares about your belt. That is a prop. How are you going to get us emotionally invested? You need storylines to make us care. It's like, I don't know, why couldn't Lance Archer freaking vandalize Page's farm or something? Why couldn't Lance Archer vandalize Adam Page's farm? Something. It's like, how come Adam Cole couldn't vandalize Hangman Page's horse or something? Like, give me something. Why couldn't Adam Cole break into his house? Like, give us something. Like, we don't know who Hangman Page is. For all we know, he's a fake cowboy. Can you give us some vignettes at his ranch? Something? Who is he? To me, he's a fake cowboy cosplaying. Why is he a cowboy? How is he a cowboy? Does he have a ranch? Does he have cows? Does he have steers? How is he a cowboy? Just because he says he's a cowboy. Come on, man. Don't talk about it, be about it. Show us proof you a cowboy. How come being a cowboy is so important to you if so far we have no video footage of you at your ranch? Like, come on, bro. Have us send you milk your cows. Film your chickens. Something. See, that would have been great television. If Adam Cole would have broke into Hangman Page's house and vandalized his ranch. Something. We need drama, bro. That's why his reign was so boring. It was boring as hell. It's like, that's pandering to say he was a great world champ. No, that's pandering. He was not a great world champ. He was terrible. Like, dog, it's a toss-up. Who was a better world champion? Him or Big E? Who was the better world champion? I feel like it's like neck and neck. They were booked the same way. So it's hard. Both were booked with no care. We couldn't really know who both of them were really when they were champions. That's what I mean by you need storylines to make us care once you are a world champion. Your storyline should feel more important than MJF. MJF should not feel more important than the world champion. If that's the case, MJF should be the world champion. It shouldn't get to a point where he is the one who's drawing the most eyes in his segments. That is a bad thing. MJF should not be drawing more than Hangman Page. That is a Tony Khan fault. But how come nobody throws him under the bus because of that? That's his fault. Dog, have more consideration for your world champion. He's a homegrown talent. You gotta take care of him. I'm sorry, MJF should have taken a back seat. Dude, his storylines they felt more important. It was more thought put into it. You had Wardlow in handcuffs. You had stipulations. They had a cage match. Come on, man. What has Page done besides wrestle? There was no drama, no suspense. It was just, how good is he in the ring? Well, there's proof. When you are world champion, nobody cares about how good you are when it comes to that belt. We need drama. We need Broadway. That's why he was a boring world champion. That's why he felt like a mid-carder carrying the world championship. That's it. I'm done.